Welcome to one more video tutorial for the NRPSDesigner. As has been mentioned previously, one of the goals of the NRPSDesigner is the elucidation of the functional role of domain boundaries. For this reason, you have the option to manually adjust the boundaries of domains produced. For example, let's use this NRP, and the designer returned a sequence of domains. But now we might want to modify some of these. For this, you just click on this Create Boundary Library button, which will take you to a new page. And here basically you get a list of all the domains that the designer returned for this particular non-ribosoma peptide synthetase, and you can adjust the boundaries. For example, let's say we want to adjust the boundaries of this thioesterase domain. Then we'll choose it here. By clicking on the refresh button, we'll get the whole synthetase, the native synthetase, which also codes for this thioesterase domain. And then by choosing an appropriate subsequence, we will actually be able to create a new construct with those boundaries. In order to make more clear exactly what happens, let's just choose a very large sequence, which does not make a sense from a functional point of view, but will illustrate the ability of the software. So the boundaries for this have been set. And now we might also want to create another construct which has modified this first adenylation domain. So if we refresh, we'll get this new sequence. Here you can see the adenylation domain. And again, as a proof of principle, this time we'll just choose a very small subsequence. And once we've made our selection, we can click on Create Library. And now new constructs are generated with those new boundaries, basically. And then you get immediately redirected to this new page where you have your new variants. For example, this first one is the thioesterase domain variant. And as you recall, we chose a very large sequence for this, and compare it to this one, it's a lot longer. And also this was a contiguous sequence which had to be extracted from Penicillium chrysogenum, and now it had to be split into two parts because of the modified domain boundaries. And similarly, we also get the new modified adenylation domain. So as you can see, we have a very small adenylation domain now. Again, this would not be functional, but it proves the functionality of the NRPSDesigner. And now if we go to our original construct, then if we refresh the page, you'll see that you can actually view your boundary library with the variants you just created.